Peace, peace, peace. Welcome, welcome, you guys. It is UFC 316, and I'm absolutely happy to be here. I wasn't able to do one of these for last week's card because I was sick. So we didn't even get to do the podcast last week, which is crazy. And if you haven't, y'all make sure that you like and subscribe to this channel. But we do a weekly podcast that comes out every Wednesday at 8 a.m. Make sure that you go check out the podcast. It's not one of those analytical bullshits where we're just like, oh, and this happened with that. Listen, we're there to vibe, talk shit. We're just fans who are fanning out and talking shit about MMA fighters and all kind of stuff. So y'all make sure y'all check that out. This weekend or this week, obviously, we talked about UFC 316 in our picks, or not necessarily the picks, but we talked about UFC 316, the different stories that are surrounding it. You do not want to miss it. But today we are going to get into UFC 316. I have a couple free picks for you guys, and some parlays, right? Let's go ahead and just get straight into it. First of all, before we go anywhere, make sure that y'all look into joining the VIP. So not only do I just go over UFC, but I also go into all sports, basketball, baseball, football when it starts back up, tennis. I mean, absolutely anything that you can bet on, we take care of inside of the VIP. If you want a free month of VIP, go ahead and message me on Instagram. You can message Scrap and Roll at MMA or Scrap and Roll MMA, or you can message Sky Knows Bets as well. And we'll go ahead and get you locked in for a free month of VIP. Trust me, we are absolutely fucking killing it. Although today was the absolute worst day that we have had. I went 1-4, and it was literally 3 of those picks were by .5 of a point, which is just, if you bet, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So yeah, make sure that you guys tap in with our VIP. And if you let me know that you came from YouTube, I will not only give you a month for free, but I also give you 50% off your first month if you choose to stay, which you will because you'll be eating, right? Um, Let's check out some of the VIP wins. Right now, I'm doing a challenge through Player Profit, showing anybody in VIP how to go from $30 to $1,000. We are absolutely cooking with it. If you see my previous videos, I was using a higher Player Profit account, but this one I want to use the lower one that everybody can absolutely afford, and show you guys how to cook on that small account and then be able to afford a larger account. So make sure that you tap in with VIP. That way, you're able to start making some money off of these sports that y'all love to watch, right? These are just some of the picks, some of the wins that we've had recently. 2 days ago, we had a complete full sweep, and once again, I do not hide my losses. A lot of times, you see people come on here and they hide their losses. You know, they duck and they dodge it. Nope. On the second, we got cooked. We got absolutely cooked for the VIP picks. The free pick hit. And like I said today, we got cooked. But overall, we are profitable. Overall, I'm sitting at 62%. And last month, I finished up 23 units. So it's a game of math. If you guys are wondering what Player Profit is a sports funding company that allows you to have a bigger bankroll, right? So a lot of times we get caught up only betting like $5, $10, $15, something like that. Well, with Player Profit, you're able to get funded. This is something people don't talk about. I'm about to make a whole video about it, but there is no limit with Player Profit. There are other sports funding companies where they do have a limit as to how much you can get from the company, but with them there is no limit. Now their highest account is a 100K account, but you can have multiple 100K accounts, all the way from $1,000 accounts all the way up to 100K. Once you pass a challenge, you pay a small fee, pass the challenge. Once you pass the challenge, you get 70% of the profits that you make on the account. These are just some of the people who have been absolutely killing it and cashing out with Player Profit. As you can see, $32,000, $13,000. This one's $12,000, $20,000. And on there, if you join their Discord, you will see hundreds and hundreds of people who are getting paid out by Player Profit. If you use code SCRAP when you sign up, you will get 10% off. Listen, if you want to join my VIP so that you're able to pass your challenge with me, because I'm specifically putting in bets to help you pass the challenge, once again, comment down below, hit me up on Instagram. I'll make sure that we get that done for you. Um, Also, before we're about to get into the picks, if you use code SCRAP on Wanna Parlay, Better, Sleeper, or Underdog, go ahead and use code SCRAP. You will get the new player signups, and you'll also get an additional month of VIP for free. And I also have a contest going on with some Merab shorts, so we'll make sure that we get that for you. There's a lot of different stuff that's going on. Use code SCRAP. Comment down below. Take a screenshot. We'll get you taken care of. All right, let's go ahead and get into the UFC main card picks. Now, one thing about UFC 316 is it's extra chalky. If you don't know what chalky means, it means there's just too much. Listen, the favorites are favorited. Like, you have to get creative if you want to try to get some plus money plays. Like, like the dogs are dogs, but like I don't feel good about any of the dogs. So when it comes to the main card picks, I am going with the favorites, not because they are the favorites, but because they just are who I believe is going to win. Let's start off with Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland taking on Vicente Luque. Listen, I do not like Kevin Holland as a person, but I always say Kevin Holland wins the fights against mediocre fighters. The fighters who, you're not really kind of just like your run in the mill kind of guys. And this is no shade to Vicente Luque. He's an absolute killer. He's in the top 15, right? And he's been there for a while. But those are the kind of guys that Kevin Holland wins against. When he goes up against elite talent, when he goes up against the guy, he never wins those fights. This is the type of fight, just like he did with GM3, that he should win. So I'm going Kevin Holland. Patchy Mix is in the UFC. Let's fucking go. He will be the next bantamweight champion. Mark my words and everyone else's words. Taking on Mario Batista. As we know, we're fucking sick of Mario Batista. Like, we're absolutely sick of Mario, especially after that performance that he put on against Jose Aldo. We, like, just as a fan base, we do not care. If you're a Mario Batista fan, shout out to you. But Patchy Mix is gonna go inside there and sub him. I think it doesn't go the distance. Next up, another fight that I don't think goes the distance. Joe Pyfer taking on Kelvin Gastelum. I will never bet on Kelvin Gastelum because I cannot trust him. I can't trust him to make weight. I can't trust which Kelvin Gastelum's going to show up. And honestly, I think Kelvin Gastelum should retire. I think that he's absolutely done. Shout out to all that he's done inside the sports, especially the classic with Israel Adesanya. But Kelvin's just done. I don't know what else to say about that. And if you look at the pictures from this week, it doesn't look like he might not make weight. I don't know. And at the press conference today, it kind of just really felt like, I don't know, his energy was off. I wasn't really feeling it, so I'm going Joe Pyfer there. Kayla Harrison taking on Juliana Pena. Listen, we need Kayla to win, period, because we need to see Amanda Nunes versus Kayla Harrison. Amanda's coming back. I'm kind of on edge about like whether or not I want Amanda Nunes to come back, but at the end of the day, we need it. Hopefully, Kayla goes inside there and does what she does. I find it interesting that people think that it's going to be a finish rather than going the distance. So I'm actually betting Kayla versus Juliana to go the distance because at the end of the day, one thing I always say is Juliana Pena is a dog. She is a dog. Like, you have to take her out back and put two in the head in order to get her to stop. She's not going to quit. She's not going to give up on herself, and she's going to keep coming. Pause. Uh, so with that being said, I think that it ends up going the distance. I just don't know if Kayla's fought a dog like that. Larissa Pachenko's a dog, but Julie is just like that stubborn dog that's just throwing anything to see if it sticks. And then the main event, I'm going Merab Dvalishvili. I just don't know Sean's going to try to do something different. I don't know if he'll be successful with it. And if I'm betting my money, I have to go with Merab based off of what we've seen. Listen, I would love to see Sean win, but I just don't know if we're going to get that. I think that Merab is going to do what Merab does. I think that Sugar has to land a shot like he did on Aljo um, in order to win this fight. And so I'm just gonna go with Merab. So as you can see, the main card. These are my main card picks. If you message me VIP or win on Instagram, I will send you my full card pick. I've been doing pretty good actually with like just picking the full card. Obviously, those aren't things that I'm taking. I'm not taking the whole full card, but if you want to know like what I'm taking on the whole full card, I do put that out there. Let's go ahead and get inside of some parlays, right? Like I said, this whole card is super chalky. But if you want some safe bets, this is what I'm calling the safety parlay. As you can see, it's super chalky because they're super favorites. We got Azamat, Mirza, Merkin. Listen, if I look at the last name, I can't say it. As soon as I look at it, all of a sudden I can't say it. But if I didn't look at it, I would be able to say it. Mirza, Mirzaknov. Listen, I'm fumbling over my word. I'm starting to sound like Chell and Max Holloway mixed together. Must be the Max Holloway shot fight. Anyways, I'm taking Azamat. I'm taking Kayla Harrison. I'm taking Joe Pfeiffer. Putting them together, that gives us minus 153. It's not the sexiest. It's not, what you're running home. You're not going to make bank, but it is a whole lot safer. It's something that 9 times out of 10, this is going to cash. Unless we get some one off situation, this is going to cash, right? And at the end of the day, you want to have those type of plays where you're kind of just kind of moving safe. Now we're going to move on to one other parlay that's not necessarily safe, but we get some plus money going. This is the violence parlay, all right? We're going Joe Pfeiffer under 2.5 rounds against Kelvin Gastelum. Um, Now, like I said before, I don't think that Kelvin Gastelum versus Joe Pfeiffer goes the distance at all. I'm also going Joshua Van under 2.5 rounds. Joshua is taking on, dang, I don't have his opponent's name up right now, and I can't remember off the top of my head. But I do believe that his opponent, which this is going to bother me because it's just important to be able to know the guy's name, that his opponent is a little chinny. Bruno Silva. I didn't even have to look it up. It just popped in my head. Bruno, he's a little chinny. But both of these dudes, I could come out there and scrap. So even though I'm leaning Joshua Van to win this fight, overall, I don't see it going the distance. I see high output from these flyweights that are just absolutely out there banging it under 2.5 rounds. And then I got Chaos Williams at plus 150 KO. Yeah, let's take care. We know Chaos is gonna go out there with Chaos is gonna go out there and do exactly what the fuck his name says, right? It's going to be a scrap. This is another one that you can get. Doesn't go the distance as well if you want to make this a little chalkier. Um, these are the parlays that these are two of the parlays that I'm running. I have multiple parlays that I am running this weekend. If you want those plays, message me on Instagram or comment down below. I'll go ahead and get them over to you. But the best way to get in contact is message me on Instagram. I'll get those out to you. If you are on Sleeper, Better, or Underdog, or if you're not and you want parlays that are specific to Underdog, Sleeper, and Better, I have those as well. I have straight picks, I have parlays, and I have DFS friendly bets that you guys can get in on because it's UFC 316. And guess what? It's all for free. It's for free. So that's all. That's what I'm going to be betting on this weekend. I'm not even going to edit or chop up this video because it is late here and I just want to make sure that I got this out. You guys make sure that you use Scrap and get up to $1,500 in bonuses when you sign up for Better, Sleeper, One a Parlay, and Underdog. Also, once again, if you guys are planning on betting this weekend and you have a small bankroll like majority of us do, go ahead and hit up Player Profit. Go ahead and start that challenge. And if, like I said, inside the VIP, we are currently going through the process of starting with their smallest account, showing you how to pass it so that you can then move on to get the larger account. So reach out to me at Scrap and Roll MMA or Sky Knows Bet, and I will be more than happy to make sure that we're all locked in. Because at the end of the day, we're trying to beat the bookies, not ourselves. Um, I almost made a joke about Sean, but it doesn't matter. Hopefully we come back. We've cashed out. We're feeling like winners, not losers. But until then, I am out. Peace.